next, it's this. What is that? Well, in a few moments, you're going to find out, right? We're going to look at this in a bit more detail. Let me bring up my thing over here. We're going to look at idioms next. Here we go.
I want some idioms. I want them now. I want some idioms, but I don't know how to learn them, how to remember them. All I know, I really think so, is that I want some idioms now. How to learn them, how to remember them. All I know, and I really think so, is that I want some idioms now. How to learn them.
How to learn them. Idioms. I mean, idioms are useful. They're important. I would say idioms probably, if you're a more advanced student, like a band 7, 7.5 or C1, you can focus much more on idioms. If you're intermediate, don't worry too much about idioms. Learn some, but I think they're more kind of the higher level students, but they just make English so colourful and so interesting. And they really do help you understand native speakers, because native speakers, we use idioms. We do use them a lot. So what we're going to do, I want you, if you can, to guess these idioms. So we're talking about holidays, right? Of course, idioms to do with holidays. So let me show you the first idiom. It's a picture, and let's see if you can guess this one. Let me bring it in over here. And here we go. Where are we? Here it is. I realize that's a good idiom for this topic. Obviously not this one, but good. Nice. Daisy, thank you. Again, these are nice idioms for the topic. Travel light, itchy feet. Nice. Mainly speaking. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so this one actually was in the middle of nowhere, right? You're in the middle of nowhere, as you can see there. In the middle of nowhere. That comes from, let me show you. So in the middle of nowhere just means a place that is very remote and isolated. We found a great cabin in the middle of nowhere. A cabin, just in case you don't know, I'm sure a lot of you will know this, but a cabin, well, looks a bit like this. Normally made of wood, normally next to the lake or in the forest, usually in the middle of nowhere, right? In the middle of nowhere. Nice. Okay. We found a great cabin in the middle of nowhere, or we went walking in the middle of nowhere. Now, some of you said out of nowhere. So out of nowhere just means suddenly. Something appeared out of nowhere. I had an idea out of nowhere, right? I suddenly had an idea. So not really related to traveling and holidays, but, and this one, right, left and center, means everywhere. There were tourists right, left and center. So it's a good idiomatic expression, meaning everywhere. there were beaches. In Santander, where I live, there are beaches left, right, and centre. Right, left, and left, right, and centre. Right, left, and centre. Left, right, and centre, I would say. Is it left, right, and centre or right, left, and centre? Left, right, and centre. Now you've got me thinking. Left, right, and centre. Right, left, and centre. I guess you could say both. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So those are different idioms. Also, there's some others. Parisa said hit the road, means to start a journey. It's also a very, very good idiom we can use to start a journey. Let's hit the road. Let's begin our journey. Okay, so that's number one. Let me switch you to number two, idiom number two. Yeah, Natalia, out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, you can also use. This one I'm going to do quickly because it was quite easy. Yes. So it's a bit of a trick because the picture, right, is live and then it going up. But the pronunciation is to live it up, right? To live. It's the verb, not live, but to live it up. And you can connect, live it up, live it up. Meaning to enjoy life in a lively, extravagant or luxurious way. So when you go to a restaurant, if you choose an expensive restaurant with beautiful food, nice decor, we're living it up, or we're going to live it up. Often we use the expression when you have a choice of something cheap or something expensive, luxurious. Shall we go on a camping holiday or stay in a 5-star hotel? Let's live it up. Let's go in the 5-star hotel. So to live a luxurious lifestyle, right? To spend a lot of money, to live it up. Live it is your life. Up, right, is good. So to live a good life. The idea of spending money. Luxurious. Luxury, extravagant. Live it up. Let's live it up. For example, they wanted to live it up on their holiday, so they stayed at a 5-star resort. Resort is like a hotel with other amenities. Yes, very, very nice. Luxurious. Travel in style. Yes. So, Irina, you may say, let's travel in style. Let's go by business class. Let's live it up. It has that similar context, right? Let's live it up. Excellent. Live it up. It's like saying, I'm living my best life. Yes, but particularly when you're spending money and you're living in an extravagant way. So extravagant just means you're spending a lot of money, maybe too much money, right? Extravagant. You can't see that, can you? Okay. Excellent. Good. Let's move on to number what? Number 3. Let's have a look. This one's a bit more challenging. Let's see what you come up with. Oh, you guys. Good, you've got it. Excellent. Joy, well done. And a lot of others there. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, to throw caution to the wind. So he's throwing caution to the wind. Caution is being careful. And here's being careful. And if you are careful, you keep that. If you're not careful, you throw your caution to the wind. You're not careful. Basically, it means to be not careful. So to throw caution to the wind, to take a risk without considering the consequences, to make it easier, not be careful, basically, right? To not be careful. To throw caution to the wind. So your caution, you're being careful, vroom, throw it away, we don't care. Take a risk. Here we could say, I was busy at work, but we threw caution to the wind and booked a last-minute holiday package. It just means, I didn't think about my work, about the deadlines. I'm not careful about that. Forget about that. Let's just go and have a good time. Let's live it up and throw caution to the wind. Okay? Throw caution to the wind. It's actually the opposite. So Chinelo, Mozi, this is very, very good. You say be careful with spending. So throw caution to the wind is to not be careful with spending. It's actually it's the very, very opposite, right? To not be careful with spending, to throw caution to the wind. Because here, well, it's not only not spending, it's not being careful with any consequences. The consequences here is that I'm too busy. I can't take a holiday. You could also have it talking about money as well. We don't have a lot of money, but we decided to throw caution to the wind. And book a holiday. So we don't care about the consequences that we have no money. We just throw caution to the wind. Excellent. Very, very nice. Good. We've got one more. Here we go. Number 4. Very interesting. So there are a lot of good ideas there, many of them correct. Let me share the one I was thinking of and then some of the ones you said. So it's to get off the beaten track. Or get off the beaten track. We can actually say both. To get off the beaten track, to go off the beaten track. The beaten path as well. So yeah, track or path, as you'll see. To get off the beaten track, to go off the beaten track or path. It means to visit a place that is not well known or frequently visited. For example, we prefer destinations that are off the beaten path to avoid crowds. Oh, yeah. So, excuse me, one moment. Jingle time. Jingle.
Ba-da-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be, bum bum bum.
Keep hydrated. We prefer destinations that are off the beaten path to avoid crowds. I think a lot of people like to go off the beaten path because it's quieter. There are fewer tourists, fewer holidaymakers, and you can get away from the crowds. Other expressions, actually, some of you said to hit the road. Yeah, because if you look at this, it could be when you're working, you go off track, you start something different. So all of those are good idioms, right, which exist as well. I'm not going to stay on them. I'm going to move on just because of time. What does splurge mean? To splurge means to spend a lot of money. Yeah. So to hit the road, it was Natalia. You can hit the road, means to start the journey. Joy said go off track, means to get distracted. And to hit the road running means to start something and you're well prepared for it. So all of those are great, really, really good idioms. But no, and I'm going to move on to our next activity just because I've noticed the time. Right, what's next? Well, let's find out. What's next? After idioms,